So in our last class, we had completed the concept of pandas. So today, we will go to next library, that is Python NumPy. Okay. So we will see if I will type NumPy in Google. So this is the official site of NumPy, numpy.org, and you see what they have written. First you read NumPy. So particularly this term coming from numerical Python. From a term numerical, the word num is coming, from Python py is coming. So you read first, NumPy is a library for the Python programming language, adding support for large multi-dimensional arrays and matrices, along with a large collection of high-level mathematical functions to operate on these arrays. You recall, in Python programming, there is no concept of array. So instead of the array, Python having 4 collections that already we have studied: list, set, tuple, and dictionary. But when the team who have developed NumPy, so they are demanding NumPy meant for creating one-dimensional or multi-dimensional array, and they are demanding NumPy array having advantage than Python collection, let it Python list. So we will see how NumPy library we are using for creating an array, one-dimensional array or multi-dimensional array, how the NumPy library is more advantageous than Python list, that we will discuss. And also NumPy library containing so many built-in functions, so many mathematical built-in functions. That built-in functions we will use to operate various operations, to perform various operations over the arrays. This is the NumPy official site. So if you want to get all the documents, you can get from this NumPy official site, numpy.org. Install documentation, learn community about us. So everything that you can get here. So overall, if I will write what is NumPy, so I can write. So NumPy, so like pandas, NumPy is another software library specifically used used to develop, create one or multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, so NumPy meant for array. If anybody will ask why NumPy, we use NumPy library for creating one or multi-dimensional array. Okay, it also contains so many mathematical functions, built-in functions, built-in functions, okay, that we use to perform various operations over array. Okay, clear? So now we will go to Jupyter Notebook. So this is my Jupyter Notebook environment. So already we have known how we have imported pandas, in which way that we had imported pandas. Wait, we will import NumPy.
Sir, ଟିକେ back ଦେବେ ଲେଖୁଛି।
Okay, so you're right. So in which way that we had imported pandas, in same way we will import NumPy, because NumPy is a library. So first of all we have to import, we need to import that library. Import means bringing NumPy module into our Jupyter Notebook environment. Okay, so I have written import NumPy as NP. Now I will hit run. So how NumPy is importing? So import NumPy as NP. So strictly speaking, NP is completely user defined. So as is a keyword that representing alias. So NP is the alias of NumPy. The meaning is whatever the NumPy module containing inbuilt functions, every inbuilt functions will invoke by NP, and every function having a specific purpose. So we will see. Okay, now NumPy module we successfully imported. We brought NumPy module into our environment. So now same concept. Now I want to get the current version. To get the current version of NumPy. Get the current version of NumPy. So what I have to write? np dot double underscore version double underscore. np dot double underscore version double underscore. Now I will hit run. So I got the output 1.19.2. So 1.19.2 is the latest version of NumPy. Here. So now, so we will come to our main point. So why NumPy? So NumPy basically we use to create one-dimensional or multi-dimensional array. The array taking one subscript, basically our square bracket symbol, that is called as subscript. The array taking one subscript is known as one-dimensional array. Taking more than one subscript, that is called as multi-dimensional array. Okay, so we will see. So just to see how to create an array, there is a built-in function named as array. There is a built-in function. The function name is array. So this built-in function coming from NumPy module. So that's why it is invoking by NP. So that's why I have written np.array. So let the array name is arr1. So arr1 equals to np.array. So array is a function, that means parenthesis that we have to specify. So within parenthesis, a list of values I have taken. So within square bracket, so I have taken 10, 20, 30. Then an array named as arr1 will create. Okay, so the concept is saying how to create an array, how to create NumPy array. There is a function, built-in function named as array function. when that is invoking by NumPy alias np, so it is returning an array. So I can write print arr1. Now I will hit run. Just to see, I got one dimensional array. Okay, 10, 20, 30. And another point, one point I forgetted, np is completely user defined. Instead of np you can write x, y, z, whatever you write, but since NumPy officials, they have used np, so that's why we all are using np. But np is user defined. In pandas, pd is user defined. Instead of that we can write anything. Okay, so give a response. I hope everybody got clarity.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so to get to get the to get to get or to know the dimensions of array, so that is, there is a keyword ndim. So ndim is a keyword. Just to see your array name, my array name is arr1.ndim. I will hit run. I got 1. So this one output 1 representing your array arr1 is one dimensional array. Okay, your array name arr1 is one dimensional array. Okay, so ndim is a keyword. So ndim keyword representing your array is which dimensional array. Just to see, there is a keyword size. Size is a keyword. The size representing how many number of data items present in array. So that is 3. Number of data item is 3. So that is called the size of an array. So here dimension, to get the dimension of array, and here to get the size of an array. To get the size of an array. Okay. So now, what is the type of array? Basically, we are saying here this array, every array is called as NumPy array. So array is a type. Okay, so it is a which type of array? NumPy type of array. So that if I will call type function, within bracket I will specify arr1. arr1 is our name of the array. So now I will hit run. So I got numpy.nd array. So that representing arr1 is a NumPy array. Clear? Concept is clear? Everybody got clarity? Give a response.
सर जो एनडी एरे में कौन सा एनडी एरे जो
that name they have given NumPy. That the terminology at the time of development they have given. So if you will be the key developer, then whatever you have you will give, then that point we will learn. So everybody is giving what in C programming, in C++, everybody have given array. So they have given ND. Okay, n dimensional.
बुझेला
Okay, so but overall, in general, you can say that is NumPy array. Okay. So this is all about one-dimensional array. Similarly, so it is possible that we can create two-dimensional array, taking one subscript one-dimensional, taking two subscript two-dimensional. Okay, so 1 minute. So then we will go to two-dimensional array. Okay, so we will see. So the array taking one subscript, that is one-dimensional array, the array taking two subscript, that is two dimensional array, or you can say that is multi-dimensional array. Just to see same way. So array function I called, when array function is invoking by np, within function a list of values, so I specified a square bracket, a list. So within a list, so a group of values that I have taken within a parenthesis separating by the comma. Okay, let the array name is arr2. Now what is the value of arr2? So I have written print arr2. Now I will hit run. Just to see, I got this output. So two subscripts, the array two subscripts, beginning at the beginning two subscript, it is ending with two subscripts. Okay, so that's why we can say it is a two-dimensional array, taking one subscript to one dimensional, taking two subscript two dimensional, taking three subscript three dimensional, or taking more than one subscript, that is multi-dimensional array. So just to see, for getting clarity, to get the dimension of arr2, now I will hit run. Get dimension of arr2. So I have written arr2.name. Now I will hit run. So I got 2. Okay, so arr2 is a two-dimensional array. Clear? Give a response.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes,
overall what we observed, when there is a built-in function named as array, when that function is invoking by NumPy alias np, then it is returning an array, or we can say we are getting an array. Okay, so array function, within array function, so we can take a list of value. Okay, then we will see another approach to create one-dimensional array or array. Just to recall, in Python, we had studied in for loop one terminology that we had studied, a range function. We had studied a range function, just to recall. So what was the purpose of range function? A range function, just I am recalling, is a such type of function when we are invoking, it is generating a sequence of numbers. First value is 0 by default, incrementing by 1 by default, and it will end at a specified number. So range function that already we have studied in Python for loop. Similarly, NumPy development team, they have developed a function, a range function. The function name is a range function. So what is the purpose of a range function? So the concept is, when a range function we are invoking by np, then it is returning an one-dimensional array. Okay, so same objective, generating a sequence of number. First value is 0 by default, incrementing by 1 by default, and it is ending at a specified number. To see, so I have written, let my array name is arr3 equals to np.arange function, within bracket I have specified 10. 10 is the size of the array, that means the number of data item is 10. So since arange function is generating a sequence of numbers, and the first value is 0 by default, then 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So since this function coming from NumPy module, that's why it is invoking by NumPy alias np. You see, now I will hit run. So I got an one-dimensional array. For getting clarity, so I can write arr3.name. So I got 1. Hence, we can say this array is one-dimensional array. Clear? So this is another approach. By invoking a range function, that we can create an array, and there is a function array function named as array function when it is invoking by NumPy alias NP, then we are also getting an array. Clear? Give a response.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Clear.
sir.
Okay, then we will go to the next point. So they demanded, the NumPy development team demanded, we are advantageous. We are advantageous means the NumPy array is better. NumPy array is advantageous than Python list. They demanded. So we will see. So how the NumPy array, this is important point, how NumPy array is better than Python list. Okay. The first point they demanded, they told, we take the NumPy array take less memory space. The first point, the first advantage of NumPy array, the development team demanded, we take means NumPy array take less memory space than Python list. We will see. We will prove how the NumPy array taking less memory space than Python list. So already we have studied Python list and what is the how much amount of memory reserving for a list, that part also we have studied. So just to see, so one module I have imported, import sys. So already you all have acquainted with the sys module. So here let I have a list, name of the list is list 1. So this list 1 containing this data items 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Okay, same data item. Now I will create an array and that array will contain same data items, exact same data items. So let I have an array arr4 and I created an array np.array function within bracket 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So here we have one list, name of the list is list 1 and we have array, name of the array is arr4. So list 1 containing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, arr4 containing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, same data item. Now we will see, so how much amount of memory reserving for list 1 and how much amount of memory reserving for arr4. Okay, internally memory is allocating, name of the memory is arr4, name of the memory is list 1 and that memory containing 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So we will see that already what is the size or how much amount of memory allocating for list 1, that already we have known, that is sys.getSizeOf function. By invoking getSizeOf function, so already we have known, we had calculated, okay, so sys.getSizeOf list 1. Then how much amount of memory reserving for arr4, just to see, all are int data items, one type of data. So if I will find, so if I will get size of one data item, suppose let it size of one data item is 4 bytes, let then 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes, 4 bytes. So we can say 4 into size of arr4. Size of arr4 means number of data items, that is the length of arr4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That means 4 into 6, that is 24 bytes. So in this way, we can find the size of arr4 into the individual data item size. So first of all, I will find individual data item size, one data item size. So for this, in array there is a keyword item size. So I can write arr4 dot item size. You remember, item size is a keyword that representing the size of a particular data item. So let it suppose 4 bytes into arr4 dot size. So size keyword currently we have known, so that is representing the number of data items present in arr4. So number of data item is 6. Okay, so 4 into 6, that is 24 bytes. So we will see. Now I will hit run. Just to see memory reserved. So based on two output statements, so output is coming to the picture. So memory reserved for list 1 is 104 bytes, memory reserved for array ARR4 is 24 bytes. Then you tell, so num who is taking less memory space. So definitely from this scenario that we observed, the array means NumPy array. NumPy array name is ARR4. NumPy array is ARR4. So this ARR4 having less memory space than a list 1. So I hope everybody got clarity. Give a response.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So another way that we have calculated, we have evaluated, is to see import sys. So here range function I have called for generating list. Then a range function I have called for generating an array. Just to see this example, so I have a list. Let the name of the list is list2. Just one range function I have called. So within range function 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 100, 1000, 10,000, 1 lakh. Okay, so within range function, so I have specified 1 lakh. So same size I have to specify within a range function. So range function generating a list, let the name of the list is list2, whereas a range function generating an array, let the name of the array is ARR5. Okay, so here, so in which way, just you see the print statement what I have written. So here what I have done, another way that I have evaluated how much amount of memory reserving for list 2. So sys dot get size of 5. Instead of 5 you can write any number. So what I did, one data item size I have evaluated, I have calculated, then into length of a list. Okay, so one data item, let it data item is 5, one data, all are in the data item. Okay, so type of data item is same. So what I have done, so one data item size that I have evaluated into length of a list. In this way I have got the what, how much amount of memory allocating for list 2, then how much amount of memory for array. So that is one way that currently we studied. So one data item size into the number of data item present in array. So ARR5.size into ARR5.item size. Now I will hit to see. So for list 2, so 28, 2 lakh, 80, 28 lakh. Within it, in 28 there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 0. But here for NumPy array, in a 4 there are 5 0. So definitely from the output scenario we are observing what, NumPy array taking less memory space than Python list. So we observed. This is the first advantage. Clear? Concept is clear? Everybody got clarity? I hope everybody got clarity. Give a response.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so then we will move forward. We will go to the next advantage. Again, the NumPy array development team they demanded NumPy array taking less time complexity than Python list. So what do you mean by time complexity? The time taken for executing a task, for executing a job, that is called as time complexity. Suppose I will go to Puri from Jaidev here. So my source is Jaidev here, destination is Puri. Now I picked bus. Then when bus started, okay, So just I will see what is the current time. Let it current time is 10:30 a.m. Then I reached at Puri at 12:30 suppose. Then when I reached at Puri, then what I will check what is the current time. So I got 12:30. So what is the time complexity? When I reached that Puri and I saw the time is 12:30, that 12:30 minus when I started my journey, so 10:30. So that duration is the time complexity. Okay, similarly, so what we will do here, we will perform an operation. Okay, so what I have done here, I have considered to list L1 and L2 and to array A1 and A2, simply one addition operation that I have performed. L1 L2 addition, A1 A2 addition. So we will see what is the time complexity for L1 L2 addition and what is the time complexity A1 A2 addition. So if your task is, your requirement is to find the time, so there is a module in Python programming, time module, that we have to import. So in time module, there is a built-in function, time function. Okay, time function that representing current time, always you have to remember. So that's why what I have done, so time module that I have imported, import time. So I have to list let L1 L2. So range function, by invoking range function, I have created to list, let the list name is L1 and L2. Similarly, by invoking a range function, I have created to array A1 and A2. So L1 L2 to list A1 A2 to array. Now I will perform addition operation of L1 and L2. So before addition operation or before performing addition operation, I evaluated the current time. So find the time now, current time dot time function. So let the time value. So time value, let I assign in a variable, let the variable name is stat. So before performing addition operation, I found what is the time. So that is time dot time function, and whatever the time that I got, I assigned in a variable. Let the variable name is stat. Now I will add L1 and L2. So there is a built-in function, you remember, GP function, zip function. So zip is a built-in function. That function is specifically used add to list. You recall, from a list we have retrieved all data items. How? Using for loop, we can retrieve all data item from list. Let it L1. For X in L1, print X. For Y in L2, print Y. So how list 1, list 2 data item will add the first data item of L1, first data item of L2, it will add. Then the second data item of L1, second data item of L2, it will add, and it will continue in this way. Okay, so directly we have written for X, Y in zip of L1, L2. So all for each data item of L1 in X, for each data item of L2 in Y, now it is adding. Okay, so that's why I have written directly zip of L1, L2. Okay, so whatever the addition I have done, so addition result I have assigned in a variable, let the variable name is result. So after performing addition, again I will find the current time. Currently, like I told, when I reach that Puri, immediately I will see what is the time. Similarly, when I performed addition operation and the output value that I assigned in a variable result, then after that immediately I will check what is the time. So for getting time, time dot time function. Okay, then if I will find the time complexity, minus stat function, because before operation already I have found the time. So that time value I have assigned in a variable, that variable name is stat. Then after operation, again I found time.time function. So what is the time complexity? Time.time function minus stat. Then here I have written into 1000. Into 1000 is optional, so that representing, so whatever the time value generating, that millisecond. For converting into millisecond, just I have multiplied into 1000. But time complexity is after operation, whatever I found time.time function minus that into 1000 for converting into millisecond, that I have specified. So similarly, if I will go to add to array, before addition I will find a time. Then very simple, array addition is very simple, a1 plus a2, array 1 plus array 2, and the result value, let I have assigned in a variable, let the variable name is result. Then after addition, again I will find a time, so time.time function. If I will find a time complexity, time.time function minus that, just I converted into millisecond, that's why I multiplied into 1000. Okay, so we have two output statement. So this output statement for list, this output statement for array. So now I will hit run to see. So 99 millisecond. So list addition time complexity is 99 millisecond, whereas array addition time complexity is 6 millisecond. So from this output scenario, so we got the clarity. So NumPy array taking less time complexity than Python list. I hope everybody got clarity. Give a response.
Yes, sir.
Okay, everybody got clarity. So NumPy array taking less memory space than Python list. NumPy array taking less time complexity than Python list. Then these are the very small terminology regarding this. Already I told item size. To get the size of a particular data item, to get size of particular data item. Okay, so there is a keyword item size we are using. So let my array, latest array was ARR5. So let my array is ARR6. Okay, so ARR6 dot item size. Okay, so item size is a keyword. Your array name dot item size. This item size keyword representing individual data item size. Now I will hit run. I got 4 bytes. Okay, to know the data type, to get the data type, to get the data type of data items. Okay, so I will write d type ARR6 dot d type. D type is a keyword that representing data type. Int 32, that means 100, 200, 300, all data items are which type of data? Int 32 type of data. Okay, to get the type of data items, that is what I got int 32. For this there is a keyword d type. Okay, so regarding size and shape, that already we know. So to get the size, get the size and shape, get the size and shape of array. Okay, so let it, the array name is ARR7. So ARR7 dot size ARR7 dot shape. Size is a keyword that representing number of data items present in an array. Shape is a keyword that representing how many number of rows and how many number of columns. So this is 1 row, 1 column, 2 column, 3 column, 4 column, 5 column, 6 column. So 1, 6. Now I will hit run. So I got 6 and 1, 6. Okay, so to we can change the size of an array. Suppose this is an array, so let my array name is arr8. Okay, so this array containing 2 number of rows, 3 number of columns. But my task is I want to resize, I want to resave. So I can write print arr8. Okay, so arr8 is an array that containing 2 number of rows and 3 number of columns. But my point is I want to see, I want to display the array size will receive. So I want to receive, the array size will change. 3 number of rows, it will convert into 3 number of rows and 2 number of columns. So that's why, so I will arr8 equals to arr8 dot receive function. There is a function receive function. So receive function, within receive function I specify 3,2 means first is the number of rows, second is representing number of columns. So 3 number of rows, 2 number of columns that I want to see, I want to display. So now I will hit run. So I got, just to see, first print statement arr8, there are 2 rows, 3 columns. Second print statement, just to see, there are 3 number of rows, 2 number of columns. So this task is what? Receive, to receive. Okay. So just we will say to search a particular data item. Suppose I want to retrieve a particular data item. Suppose just to see. So latest array name is arr8. This is arr9. So this is arr9. Suppose arr9 is an array. So what I have written, what is the value of arr9 of 0, 3? So what is the meaning of 0, 3? 0 means first 0 representing, this is 0th row. Okay, this is the first row. So first row is 0th index row. This is 1 index row. Second row, we can say this is 1 index row. So in 0th index row, first of all we will consider this row. In 0th index row, then 3. In 3 index, which data item is present? So this is 0th index 1, that I 1 index 2, that the data item 2 is present. Okay, 2 index, the data item 3 is present. 3 index, the data item 4 is present. So output will be 4. In 0th index row, then in 3 index, which data item is present, that data item will come to the picture. So that's why output is 4. Suppose if you will write 0th index 1, 1 index 2, 2 index 3. Suppose if you will write it 2, that means 3 will come. 2 index, the data item 3 will come. They will give a response to retrieve a particular data item from an array. Okay, so now we will go to the next point. So this is another approach to create an array. Another approach. Here there is a function. So create an array by invoking, there is a function, line space function. There is a built-in function, line space. Okay, so line space function is coming from NumPy module. That's why it is invoking by NumPy alias np. So that's why I have written np.linespace function. But line space function purpose is what? So I have this is a such function. It have taken 3 arguments, 1, 3, 10. So meaning is what? First value is 1, last value is 3. Number of data item will generate 10. So 10 number of data will generate, but the gap is same, 1.22, the difference within this, from this data item to this data item difference from this data item to this data item difference will be same. Okay, so line space is a such function when it is invoking by NP, then it is returning an array or we will get an array. But the purpose is, so within one data item to another data item, whatever the number of data item will generate, so space difference is equal. Okay, so let the array name is A8. So I can write print A8. Now I will hit run. So I got this is the array 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that means within 1 to 3, 10 number of data generating. Here, give a response. Give a response.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir.
then all are these are the very simple points. Main function, max function, sum function, some mathematical functions that we can operate. Suppose A9 is an array that I found. So what is the minimum data item, what is the maximum data item, and the sum value of 100, 200 and 300. Some mathematical functions, okay, we can calculate, we can evaluate. Similarly, some another mathematical operations, square root and standard deviation. Suppose A10 is an array, okay, so I can find the square root of A10, standard deviation of A10. Now I will hit run. There is a function, built-in function, ready-made function, sqrt, and for standard deviation std. Okay, so here, so I can give a comment to get the mean value, mean, max, sum value of an array. Get square root and standard deviation value of an array. Okay, then here so currently we studied how to array that we can add. So to array we can add, we can subtract, we can multiply, we can divide. Okay, so here x is an array, y is an array, print x plus y. So print x minus y, x into y, x divided by y. Okay, so happily, so we can perform addition, subtraction, multiplication and division operations. So we can write here also, there is no problem. Okay, so now I will hit run. So directly I got all values. Okay, perform. Okay, so to get addition of two array, get addition, subtraction, multiplication and division. Array. Clear? Give a response. I hope everybody got clarity.
Yes, sir.
This is all about NumPy. So overall, what we studied, NumPy meant for array, creating one-dimensional or multi-dimensional array. So there are many approaches that we saw, we studied. So one is by invoking array function, we got array. By invoking arrange function, that we created an array. Also we saw by invoking a line space function, also we saw we created an array. And so many ready-made functions that we studied, we used, and we studied what the advantages of NumPy array over Python list. Okay, so I hope everybody got clarity. This is all about NumPy.